Welcome, everyone. My name is Jennifer, and this is Jen, and we're both trained to facilitate the Living Well programs. We are here today to introduce you all Well workshops, which focus on helping individuals self-manage their chronic conditions. There are three different forms of our Living Well workshops. We have in-person, remote, and toolkits. They all meet once a week for 6 weeks, but each format is just a bit different. The full-length program and remote workshops are 2.5 hours long and take place in a group setting, whereas the toolkit workshops are only an hour long and take place in groups of 4 or less and over the phone. First, let's talk about the term chronic condition. Chronic means an illness condition or a condition that has lasted longer than 6 months. Some examples of chronic conditions are arthritis, asthma, diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, chronic pain, and depression. Raise your hand if you are currently managing one of those chronic conditions every day.
So a lot of the time, chronic conditions can have, accompanying symptoms that we also have to manage in addition to the condition themselves. So our Living Well workshops will provide strategies that can be used every day to better manage conditions and symptoms so that we can live our life to its fullest. We like to refer to these different strategies as tools and say that they're all part of our self-management toolbox. Aside from these tools, we also focus on building confidence and self-efficacy in our workshops. That way you feel empowered to make positive decisions and can sustain long-term changes. So for example, a lot of participants in our workshops are eager to lose weight. So instead of encouraging them to drastically change their lifestyle, we encourage participants to just make small, gradual changes in their everyday lives. Some examples of this might be replacing snacks with healthier alternatives or even walking for just 10 minutes a day to help us gradually and successfully reach our goals. So now we're going to introduce you to a couple of tools that we use in our workshops.
Excellent. And now we're going to be talking about communication. The first tool that we want to introduce is communication, and I think we can all agree that good communication is important. First of all, it helps us to create and maintain all of our social relationships. Good communication is especially important when managing a chronic health condition because it allows us to keep those around us informed about our conditions so that they can understand how they can help and support us. Without good communication skills, problems may arise in our relationships with our friends, family members, coworkers, and healthcare providers. These problems often stem from not being clear about what we want or what we need, or when we are not specific enough with our request. We cannot expect others to just know what we need or perhaps even read our minds. So I want to have you listen closely to these two requests and think about the difference in them from one another. The first request is this: I need help grocery shopping. Would you help me? And the second request: if I give you a short list, would you mind picking up some groceries for me the next time you go to the store? I can come over after you've done and pick them up at your home. Now, what is the difference between these two requests?
Well, one of them has a little more information, and it seems a little like, sure, no problem. I'd be glad to help you. And you don't even need to pick up. I'll bring it to you. The other one's a little more, it's easier to say no.
Yes, exactly. Anybody else have anything to add?
One is more instructional for the friend or the other individual, whereas the second one, as Christine mentioned, provides more explanation and kind of dual roles in the solution and sharing of those roles.
Excellent.
Both great points. Yeah, both great points. Some of us might say yes to the first request, but some of us may be more likely to say yes to the second request. The second request is more specific, which means it's more likely to lead to a productive, positive interaction. When we ask someone else for help, it's also important to consider the needs of the person that we are receiving help from. You know, they have their own life and their own routine. So we really just need to try and be considerate of that when we are making those requests. So next, we're going to discuss one method that we can use to better express our feelings more constructively without, maybe blowing up or blaming others or causing other people maybe to feel defensive. So these are called using I messages instead of using you messages. So we are going to give you a few examples of both I messages and you messages. And what we're going to ask you to do is just take a note or notice how each example makes you feel. So here's the first example of a you message. Why are you always late? We never get anywhere on time. So just take a note of that. And here's how you could say that as an I message. I get really upset when I'm late because it's important to me to be on time. Okay, so here's another example, the you message. You are so inconsiderate. You don't understand how bad I feel. Now, here's the I message. I'm not feeling well. I could really use some help today. So, what differences did you notice between the I messages and the you messages? Anybody?
Well, the you messages are like placing blame. You're doing something wrong rather than just saying what you like. I like to be on time. So in other words, get the hint.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Does anybody else have anything to share?
The you messages are more likely to make someone defensive.
Yeah.
I agree with Mike. And I also feel that the you message blocks communications or stops that communication where it is.
Definitely, right? Treat others how you want to be treated, right? I wouldn't want someone to talk to me using one of those e-messages. So all great points. Thank you guys very much. In our full-length programs, we dive much deeper into the topic of communication. So in our full-length program, we actually learn how to change those you messages into more constructive, positive I messages, as well as how to speak to others using I messages with several other communication strategies as well.
Excellent. Thank you, Jen. The next activity we're going to be talking about is diaphragmatic breathing. So this is one of the tools in our self-management toolbox, and it's called breathing techniques. The breathing techniques we're going to do today is called diaphragmatic breathing. So most of us can benefit from better or improved breathing regardless of whether we have a chronic condition or not. Most of us at some time or another have experienced shortness of breath, which is why it's so important to learn how to breathe better. There are a lot of reasons for shortness of breath, including damaged lungs, a weakened heart, increased demands, narrowed breathing passages, low number of red blood cells, high altitude, excess body weight, stress and anxiety, smoking, or even secondhand smoke. Diaphragmatic breathing can help relieve stress and relax those tense muscles. So today we're going to combine diaphragmatic breathing, what we call belly breathing, with pursed lip breathing. And pursed lip breathing helps us to empty our lungs of used airs, while belly breathing helps us to fill our lungs with as much air as possible.
So first, Jennifer and I will explain and demonstrate how to do these types of breathing. Then we'll invite you to practice this with us. So first, we will relax our shoulders, place one hand above our belly button and the other on our upper chest. We'll breathe in slowly through our nose. And as we breathe in, we should feel our belly expanding like a balloon filling with air. Your chest should be moving very little. Next, we'll ask you to purse your lips like you were going to whistle or blow out a candle. And breathe out slowly through your pursed lips while contracting your stomach muscles. You want to make sure that you let the air out slowly. So now let's practice together. Go ahead and find a comfortable position. Place one hand above your belly button and the other on your upper chest. Breathe in slowly through your nose and out through pursed lips. Imagine the air moving down and filling up your belly. As you exhale, breathe out through pursed lips. It should take you about twice as long to exhale as it does to inhale. If you feel lightheaded, try slowing down your breathing. Good. Just remember that these breathing techniques can be used in preparation for several different types of relaxation exercise and can also be helpful to practice while doing physical activity or exercise.
Excellent. We certainly hope that you have enjoyed the activities we did together today. They are really just a small taste of what is learned during our full 6-week Living Well workshop. Some additional workshop activities include role-playing, discussions, brainstorming, problem-solving, and really so much more. We also have a workshop for chronic pain and diabetes specifically, where we focus on those specific issues that pertain to those particular chronic conditions.
So if you decide to sign up for one of our workshops, you will actually receive a free book and relaxation CD that you can keep. So we'd like to actually dedicate the rest of the time today to answering any questions that you have. So are there any questions out there?
I have one, Jen. So next week during our session, I do have a doctor's appointment. Should I cancel it? Is that okay?
That is a great question, and that is absolutely fine. Of course, we'd love for you to be at all of the sessions, but if you're just going to miss one or even two, that would be perfectly fine, and you'll still be able to catch up and be able to reap the benefits of the program.
Awesome.
Great
Thank you.
question. Any others?
Question. Oh, I have a question.
Sure.
Will we, in the regular class, will we get to participate, interact with the other participants?
Definitely. In each session, there will certainly be opportunities to share or have discussions with other participants. And in some activities, we actually will practice and pair up with another group member. So yeah, absolutely.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Sure.
I have a question. I heard you use the term evidence-based. What does that mean?
Well, evidence-based programs and practices are specific techniques and really intervention models that have been shown to have positive effects on outcomes through rigorous evaluations, which means that the program that we're offering has been put through those rigorous evaluations and has been proven to work. So that's why we refer to it as an evidence-based program.
Thank you.
Very welcome. Any other questions for us today? Well, that is all the time we have for today. So I want to thank you all attending this session 0. We hope you have found it to be informative and hopefully a little fun too. If you'd like to register for a class, please feel free to contact us.